Dan Willis here, and in this video we're going to talk about why bad credit usually lasts longer than 7 years. So let's use an example. Let's say you have a credit card that becomes late, you get a couple late payments on your credit report, and then the credit card gets charged off. Then you have a charged off listing on your credit report. What the credit card company does is sell your debt to a collection agency. This collection agency can now also report bad credit on your credit report, so you'll have a charge-off and a debt collection, and they're going to be contacting you in what often many folks describe as harassing you to collect this debt. If this collection agency doesn't collect the debt, then they're going to turn around and sell it to another collection agency. The number of times your debt gets sold will depend on how big your debt is. So for example, a $5,000 debt is going to get sold more times than a debt for $50. There is, and if you're not aware, there is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is a federal law that regulates collection agencies and how they can contact you. One of the big things it does is it requires the collection agencies to validate your debt. You can request that your debt is validated, and we encourage you to do this before you ever make a payment to pay a debt. And the reason why bad credit will last longer than 7 years is because many of these collection agencies have been fined by the Federal Trade Commission, our government, for re-aging people's debts. So let's say we're on to collection agency number 3 for a debt of $5,000. You now have a couple of bad credit items, all from one account on your credit report, so your credit score is significantly lower. But this last agency, they may be 6 years into your 7-year time window, which is what's allowed by law for, a credit card at least. They violated the law by re-aging that debt, and they'll view it, there's all sorts of ways, but they'll keep that debt on your credit report for longer than 7 years. And just one example, we talked with a gentleman recently who hasn't been living in the United States for over 7 years. It's a long story, but this gentleman happened to be locked up living abroad, so he didn't have access to his credit accounts, wasn't able to use any of his credit, hasn't been in the United States for over 7 years, and he contacted us asking us why he'd gotten declined for a credit card. And anyways, he still has bad credit items, and he hasn't been in the United States for 7 years. So anyways, make sure to keep an eye on your credit reports. And part of the reason the collection agencies will do this is because after that 7 years runs out, on an unsecured debt, and some of these debts, depending on what you have, there are some different legal loopholes and stipulations. But unsecured debt, it's no more than 7 years, and the collection agencies, once that time window runs out, they have no way to try and get you to pay them. Like, they're motivated to keep that information on your credit report and keep you suffering from the expense of having a bad credit score. So don't let these collection agencies or even these lenders violate your rights. And it is a much more expensive route in life when you have a bad credit score versus a good credit score or a phenomenal credit score. So visit yourbadcreditcard.net for some more tips. Please comment below if you have any questions or comments or concerns. We're here to help. Please like this video and share it with your friends and family. And again, visit yourbadcreditcard.net for more credit repair tips and reviews of credit cards for bad credit. This is Dan Willis. Have a wonderful afternoon, and thanks for watching.